Hello friends, I am the course coordinator Professor Manjula P. Rao from Regional Institute of Education, NCERT, Mysore. Welcome to the Module 2 Reforms in Internship in Teaching under Unit 1 titled Changing Perspectives and Needs an Internship in Teaching. You were already exposed to a panel discussion on this unit under Module 1. You must have realized by now why there is a major shift in the teacher education programs regarding its course structure, duration, concerns and expectations at the national level. As we discussed in the last module in a panel, the NCTE, which is a statutory body for teacher education programs, has laid down quite a many concerns and needs for reforms in teacher education in its curriculum framework. I hope you have all read that National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education. It is especially concerned with the professional preparation of teachers under internship program. In this module, we shall look into the concept of internship, why it is important and its objectives. We shall also look into some of the concerns raised in the National Curriculum Framework on teacher education related to internship and the recommended reforms to improve its quality in the teacher education programs. Now let us see what is internship. You all must have gone through the experience of internship during your student days under teacher education program. It must have been a very pleasant experience or maybe otherwise also. Now internship is a field experience in the professional preparation of any course. For example, it could be a medical course or it could be an engineering course or it could be something else. So it occupies a very important place in any course where practical experience is provided. As a part of professional preparation of teachers in pre-service teacher education, the field experience, which is also known as practice teaching, provides an opportunity for the student teachers to try out all the methods and techniques of teaching which they have learned under different theory courses during their teacher education program. We can also say that internship in teaching is a school based experience, because whatever that is learnt, they go to the school and they try out all these methods and they also get familiar with all the functions of the school. So internship in teaching is a school based experience which includes not only teaching but also experience in all activities of the schools. It is an opportunity where the student teacher develops an identity as a teacher. Now look back into your own experience, how you underwent an internship program, whether you took part in all activities of the school or whether you confined yourself only to teaching the respective subjects or units that you were allotted. Fine. Now, during the internship, the student teachers acquires professional skills by undergoing the training in every activity of the school. And mostly what happens is, while going through this experience, the affective dimension, that is the attitude towards teaching, attitude towards students, attitude towards participating on all school activities, professional interests and the abilities of teachers are developed. Now these are very, very important in order to become a good and effective teachers. The school based experience also enables the student teachers to meet the challenges of diverse needs of the learners. In the following modules that we are going to go through, we will see what are these diverse needs. Internship provides excellent opportunity for the prospective teachers to learn how to teach and to acquire all the necessary knowledge, understanding, skills, attitudes and appreciation in the real school environment. They also develop the art of communication, how to face the classroom, how to talk to children and how to talk to the colleagues. And along with these things, they also learn how to solve the learning problems of the students and to deal with the critical situations and to acquire the capacity to organize the learning activities effectively, appropriately according to the content that they are going to teach. Now, internship enables one to develop teacher identity. For example, the student teacher is putting himself or herself in the shoes of a teacher. Now, there is a dual role over here. On one hand, he knows that he is a student teacher. On the other hand, he is a teacher now functioning in the school under internship program. So, internship also enables one to develop teacher identity, that is to feel oneself as a teacher in the school context. And not only this, accountability and commitment to the professions which are most required of a good teacher is also developed. All these professional preparations are done under the monitoring of qualified and experienced teachers of the school as well as of the institute supervisors. Now, why is internship in teaching required? Can't we just teach some lessons in the institute itself which is under simulated condition? Why should one go to the school and stay for a long time and then teach and take part in all the activities? Let us see why it is important. In any professional pre-service course, the theory is learnt by the student, but we do not know to what extent this theory is applicable or really seen in the ground realities. So, here is an opportunity where the student can try out these theories in the real classroom situation. The field experience provides an opportunity to get the practical experience through which they can understand the theory courses. Now, teaching especially at the secondary and higher secondary level is very challenging, since it calls for the understanding of not only the content but also the learner who is taught. In order to teach the secondary and the higher secondary students who are in the adolescent period, the student teacher must have the knowledge and understanding of the adolescent learners, their characteristics and the way they learn, the learning process that takes place during that particular stage. As I have told you, the internship provides an opportunity to student teachers to explore the practical use of the learning principles and the theories. Not only this, they will learn how to apply these things constructively in the real classroom situation. So, the student teacher is like an apprentice working under the guidance of highly motivated and experienced teachers of the school. Under the guidance of experienced teachers, the student teachers learn to deal with the learners coming from different backgrounds, for example, different socio-cultural and the language backgrounds. The student teachers also learn to use multiple strategies and techniques to suit the learning needs of different learners. They also learn from the school teachers certain tenets and ethics of teaching profession. This is also very important. It is not enough just to be a content expert or very good in teaching, but the certain professional ethics are also very, very important. So, we can say that internship is a period during which the student teachers adapt to the realistic situation and make best use of available resources and adjust to whatever is available in that environment and carry out their duties happily and cheerfully. We can also say that internship is a transition period between being a student and getting into a teaching profession, which is very valuable. Now, let us examine some of the concerns raised to the quality of internship in teaching in the National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education. Now, for many decades, it has been observed that teaching that goes on in the school is more conventional and teacher centered. Not only the in-service teachers who teach like that, but also the student teachers who go for internship also tend to follow the conventional teaching methods during internship. Of late, they are forced to do few activities related to content due to the revision of textbook, which is more learner centric and activity based. This is again done just for sake of doing activities, but not in the direction of developing curiosity or inquiry or explorative skills in the learners. So, these things we can attribute to the exposure that the student teachers have had in their pedagogy courses of teacher education programs. Second thing is, student teachers are not exposed to the pedagogical approaches with the practical orientation, which facilitate inquiry, exploration, observation, experimentation, interaction and so on. They may be learning the different methods, different approaches, but the practice is not given to them. The different methods of teaching taught under pedagogical courses tend to be only theoretical. So, we can say that there is a big gap between theory and practice. And internship is also confined more to the delivering a required number of lessons in a mechanical way. I am sure that you were asked to give 20 lessons per subject or 15 lessons or something when you were a student teacher, and also very rigid lesson plan formats having 3 columns, 4 columns and 5 columns and so on. So, these rigid lesson plan formats are followed without any flexibility or scope for original thinking. Teaching of a required number of lessons has become the major function of internship in teaching, and the variety of approaches, techniques, context specificity which facilitates learning processes are totally lagging in internship teaching. The student teachers just tend to stick on to the lesson plan formats, mechanically write. Sometimes they do not teach just one lesson, they teach 3, 4, 5 lessons, and I wonder how they prepare and how they teach in a day so many lessons. Okay. It is also observed that the student teachers do not involve themselves as full-time teachers in all activities and functions of school during internship. For sake of assessment or a record maintenance or record keeping that is a requirement in the institute, they carry out some co-curricular activities like organizing quiz or debate or essay competition. This is thus done for writing records for assessment, that is all. So, involving oneself totally as a full-time teacher is essential to equip oneself with all competencies and skills required of a teacher. And another important thing is, when they are in the process of doing the internship, they have plenty of opportunity to examine themselves, to analyze their own ideas and thoughts about teacher, learner, teaching and learning. But this does not happen. They fail to examine their own biases and beliefs related to teaching and learning, teacher and the learner and school. Similarly, there is no reflection on one's own experience as a part of classroom experience and inquiry. For example, how did I teach today? How did my class go on? Did children really like it? Could I do everything whatever I wanted to do? Where did I fail? So, this kind of reflection is not there on part of the student teacher. It is also observed that there is no proper mentoring or guidance or supervision rendered by the institute supervisors. The assessment of student teachers' teaching is given more importance rather than providing a feedback or guidance to improve their skills and competencies in teaching. And another thing that is noted is, not all the lessons are supervised. Randomly here and there some lessons of student teachers is observed. So, we can say that there is no continuation in the feedback, there is no continuation in the guidance. Now, until recently, the duration of internship was only for a month or for 40 days in some institutions. So, this kind of short duration of internship defeat the purpose of developing teacher identity and other professional capabilities in the school context. Now, after NCTE has brought out some changes in the teacher education program, the internship has been extended to 16 weeks. Now, even though the internship duration is extended under the guidelines of NCTE, it is seen that the quality of internship remains the same without any changes. The same number of lessons are given, the same way the teaching goes on without any changes, without any transformation. Another important thing is observed is there is no collaboration between the schools in which the internship is carried out and the teacher education institutions. The only transaction is fixing up the number of classes and the time schedule for student teachers to go and take classes. So, the schools are selected just for giving lessons, but not with the purpose of providing total experience of a school in becoming a teacher. The lessons planned and taught do not take into consideration the diverse needs of the learners who come from varied backgrounds and have different learning abilities. So, friends, based on these concerns, certain reforms have been proposed by National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education to improve the quality of teacher preparation at the national level. Let us look into what exactly they are. Reforms in internship in teaching. Practice teaching needs to be considered as a center core of the total program of teacher education. There is a need to connect theoretical study and field work and a wide range of institutional experiences involving school students, teachers, student teachers, mentor teacher educators. Another important thing is we need to ensure that the learning shifts away from rote methods to learning by understanding. Learning is to be viewed as a search for meaning out of personal experiences and discovery, and the knowledge generation is to be seen as a continuously evolving process of reflective learning. There is a need for organizing learner-centered, activity-based, participatory learning experiences in the classroom, which may involve projects, discussion, play, dialogue, observations, field visits, experimentations and explanations by learners based on their own observations and discovery. There is a need for building capacities in the student teachers to construct knowledge to deal with different types of learners and different school contexts and learning environment. We need to help student teachers to understand that knowledge is actively constructed by learners and they are not just recipients of information. There is also a need to develop capacity in student teachers for self-analysis, self-evaluation, adaptability, flexibility, creativity and innovation. They need to develop the habit and capacity for self-directed learning, reflecting, assimilating and articulating new ideas and also be self-critical. They need to develop professional skills in pedagogy, observation, documentation, analysis and interpretation of whatever that is observed. So, what needs to be done in order to develop capabilities and skills in our student teachers? As we have seen in the panel discussion, we need to engage the student teachers in critical analysis of curriculum, syllabus and the textbooks rather than taking them just as given and accepting it without any question. They must be engaged with the children in real context rather than teaching them about children through different theories. They must also develop an understanding of the psychosocial attributes, needs and the special abilities and characteristics of the learners, and this can happen only through observation and interaction with learners during internship. The student teachers must also be engaged in examining subject knowledge and its relevance to social realities, thus responding to the diversities in the classroom. For example, children come from different socio-cultural backgrounds and what they have observed, what they experienced would have been different. So, these things can be connected to the content that is taught in the classroom. The student teachers need to view the learners as active participants in their own learning and also develop the potentials to encourage learners to construct knowledge. And this can happen only if the student teacher provides the opportunities in the classroom where they can interact, where they can observe and discuss and experiment, do activities and so on. So, we need to educate student teachers to apply and practice hands-on experience as the pedagogic medium, not only inside the classroom but also outside the classroom. What is lagging in our system is we do not give sufficient practical experiences to our student teachers. So, there is a need to provide sufficient practical experiences to them to choose, to design and organize and conduct meaningful classroom activities. They must learn to develop strategies for developing learning processes and skills in learners, not just being confined to a lesson plan format and a typical methods of teaching that is being taught. They should learn to contextualize learning. That is where we talk about taking the real life context of students. The student teachers must also learn to analyze the thinking processes, questions and observations of learners. Now, let us look into the recommendations of National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education for reforms in teacher education, especially on internship. The NCTE has recommended that the student teachers may make a visit to innovative centers of pedagogy and learning, preferably schools with different multicultural contexts wherever feasible. It is also recommended that the student teachers conduct classroom based action research project to get a real hands on experience. Regarding internship, 4 weeks of school attachment program in phased manner and 16 weeks of continuous internship was recommended in 2-year teacher education program. Similarly, for 4-year integrated teacher education program, the school attachment program was recommended in phased manner during the initial semesters of the course. The longer duration of internship in schools for a period of 16 weeks was recommended during the final year of the course. 1 week of working with community was included under 16 weeks for the 2-year as well as the 4-year integrated teacher education program. It was also suggested that the student teachers get the experience of teaching at upper primary and at secondary level during the internship. It was suggested that the first week of internship must be spent in observing the classes of regular teachers in the schools. Teaching in different types of schools of varied multicultural contexts was also suggested. Besides this, it was also suggested that developing unit plans and maintaining reflective journals is important. 4 units per subject to be transacted using multifarious pedagogies and learning resources which facilitate meaning making and construction of knowledge among learners is recommended. The use of ICT appropriately in an integrated manner while teaching the content is recommended. Creating and maintaining learning resources by the student teachers for teaching learning in the schools is suggested. This can become a valuable resource in the schools for regular teachers to use whenever they teach. It was also recommended that planning of internship needs to be done in a partnership model with the school identified. In the units that is going to be followed, you will learn how exactly we can develop this partnership with the schools. Let us see what are the main things involved in internship in teaching. As you may see in the slide, the important things involved in internship are objectives of internship, that is what we expect our student teachers to learn through an internship experience. Second, the guiding principles of internship. Third, the components of internship. 4. The process of internship. Let us look briefly into each of these. The objectives of school internship as given by NCTE is given here in this slide. First one, to equip the prospective teacher to build a repertoire of professional understanding, competencies, skills and positive attitude to schooling and teaching. Second objective, to facilitate transformation of student teachers to perform the responsibilities of a teacher in actual school settings. Third objective, to provide an opportunity to the prospective teachers to link the educational theory and pedagogical concepts with their practice on one hand, and on the other hand to test the validity of theoretical propositions in actual school settings. Now let us go to the guiding principles of internship. There are 6 guiding principles of internship given by NCTE. First one, institute faculty as a supervisor. Institute supervisor has a major role in shaping the student teacher into becoming a professional teacher. We shall look into the roles of institute supervisor in guiding, monitoring and mentoring the student teachers in the modules that follow later. The second principle is adopting school as a cooperating schools. The schools should be adopted as a cooperating schools rather than merely treating them as a platform to give a required number of lessons. The school heads and the teachers need to be oriented about their roles in mentoring, guiding and supervising the student teachers in all their activities. In the modules that is going to follow, we are going to share our RIE model as to how we organize internship program in collaboration with the schools that we identify. The third guiding principle is school teachers as mentors. We need to involve the respective subject teachers as the cooperating teachers who would guide and mentor the student teachers in their planning, teaching, assessment and also in carrying out all other activities in the school. Fourth principle is the student teachers as full-time teachers. The student teachers would function as full-time teachers in the cooperating schools adopted for internship in order to get the hands-on experience in all activities and regular functions of the school and also feel as a teacher in the totality of experiences. Next one is the school experience in diverse contexts. The student teachers need to be exposed to different types of schools with a varied and multicultural contexts. For example, they must experience the diversity of learners and their learning needs belonging to government, private, tribal and other indigenous schools. The next principle is the continuous performance assessment of student teachers. The performance of student teachers may be assessed continuously with respect to their classroom teaching, the efforts taken by them to help learners in their learning problems and difficulties, in organizing the co-curricular activities, their participation in various activities of the schools, reflections on their own teaching and other roles in schools, and also their commitment to teaching profession, research projects carried out and their understanding of school climate and in various functions. All these things can be assessed continuously in order to see how exactly they are performing and also to guide them appropriately. The next what we can see is the components of internship, which is going to help us in knowing how to plan and organize the internship. Look at the slide. You may see here the first component is the school attachment program, followed by the pre-internship, and that is followed by the internship and the working with community and the post-internship program. The activities that can be carried out under each of these components and their planning and organization would be discussed separately under separate modules that is going to follow in this course. To sum up whatever we have done in this module, you have been exposed to the concept and nature of internship, the concerns related to the quality of internship and the reforms and recommendations of NCFTE towards improving the practices of internship. You have also seen the measures that need to be considered to engage the student teachers to develop an insight into the changed perspectives on teaching, learning, teacher and learner. In the following modules, you will learn how to operationalize the reforms suggested and apply them in preparing the student teachers to become competent and skilled teachers. Thank you. Let us meet again.